Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing 3 super easy and elegant Valentine's Day DIYs. This mailbox here is one of my favorite DIYs I've ever done for Valentine's Day. It is just so adorable, and I cannot wait to share these DIYs with you. But before we get started, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing down below. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you are the first to find out when I release a new video. We have to start off with this mailbox DIY because it is just my favorite. So I found this wood unfinished mailbox at Joann Fabrics, and I will leave a link for it down below. I do believe you can order it from the website, but of course you can just go to their store and pick it up in person. That is what I did. I just think that this one is so precious. Here's the label on the bottom. So I believe the regular price is $12.99, but it was 50% off, so that was a pretty good deal. Now, I do want to paint this, but I thought that the unfinished wood had a really beautiful appearance to it, so I wanted to leave some of the pieces unpainted. That way they could just give a nice little contrast to the pink color that we will be painting the mailbox. I'm just using some painter's tape to cover up the bottom portion as well as the little pole in the front, and I am going to also be covering up this little pole here. This is the little stopper for the flag, and the flag I was going to tape up, but then I realized it would be much easier just to take it off, so it's just a tiny little screw. So I just unscrewed it, and now we are going to paint it. And I did start off with this color here, and I actually stopped midway through. I was not loving the finish. It was a gloss finish. It just wasn't having the look I wanted it to, so I ended up switching to this satin spray paint in the sweet pea color, and I cannot tell you guys how obsessed I am with this color. It is gorgeous. I love the finish. While I was spray painting it, I did give it 2 coats of the sweet pea color, and I did sand in between the first and second coat. Now I'm just taking off the painter's tape and just going to put that little mailbox flag back on. This DIY could work for so many different holidays depending on which colors you choose to paint your mailbox. And I did leave the inside unfinished as well. I just love the appearance, but of course you can paint that if you choose. Just wanted to share a really simple styling idea, and this is how I am going to be styling mine. I just took a pack of mini envelopes. These are ones that actually just came with thank you cards, and I did actually end up switching them to larger ones for the final styling, but it's just the idea here. So we're going to take some mini cards as long as they fit into your mailbox or envelopes, and to just gather them all together, I decided to wrap them in this chiffon ribbon. You guys have seen my other Valentine's Day DIYs this year. You will already recognize this ribbon. I love it. I will leave it linked down below. It was really inexpensive, and you get 3 different pink colors, and it is just so beautiful. So I just wrapped them with the ribbon, and I'm just going to style it with them peeking out of the mailbox. Is a closer look at how this one turned out. I am obsessed. It definitely has that elegant Valentine's Day feel to it. It kind of feels a little bit shabby chic. I just think it is so beautiful. This shade of pink is just absolutely perfect, and I cannot wait to style this on my coffee table, and it will be part of a larger display, so definitely stay tuned for my Decorate With Me video. All right, let's move on to our next DIY. And for this one, we are going to need some twine, some wood beads, and a heart bead. So these ones actually are from Joann Fabrics as well, but you can use any heart bead that you like. Just really liked the size of this bead, and they did have red. So if you do prefer to decorate with red for Valentine's Day, definitely check those out. I will leave links for both of those beads down below, just so you can see the website picture and description. Now let's get started on our Woodbead Garland. The first thing we have to do is make our tassels, so we're going to take our twine, wrap it around our 4 fingers a bunch of times just like this. Now go ahead and just cut that twine. We do have to now cut a smaller piece of twine. You want to feed that through the middle of our loops and just pull it tight up top and create 3 or 4 knots. Now we're going to cut directly below that knot and flip our tassel over, so now the knot is hiding inside the head of the tassel. Now grab some more twine, wrap it around to create the head of your tassel and hold it in place, and then just trim that and knot that as well. Now you can go ahead and just trim off those extra pieces, pull the tail nice and tight, that way you can trim it and make sure everything is looking even. I'm going to cut a piece of twine a little bit longer than I want my finished garland to be. I'm also going to cut one of those heart beads off so it is ready. Now we're going to take that piece of twine and just feed it right through the middle of that tassel. You want to make sure that the tassel is in the center of that twine. Next, we need to layer that heart on top of the tassel. And it can be a little tricky to get your twine through the heart depending on how thick your twine is and how large the opening of your bead is. So what I did was actually just stick one of the ends of twine through the heart first. Then I taped the second end of twine to the body of the first one and was able to pull it through, and then I just removed that tape. Both pieces of twine together, we are going to feed that through 3 wood beads. So we're basically creating almost like a necklace woodbead garland. So this is a little bit different than a traditional woodbead garland, but I think it's a fun switch up. So after I added my 3 wood beads to both pieces of string, then I separated them into 2 separate strands. And now we're going to go ahead and just put enough beads going all the way up to reach the top. And you just want to make sure that both sides have an even amount of beads. Once you are happy with the length of your woodbead garland and you have even beads on both sides, you can just take those 2 strands and just knot them together. Make sure that they are nice and tight and just put 3 or 4 knots. Then you can just trim off the extra string. And that is it. It is that simple. It doesn't take a lot of time. And once you make your first one, you will be a pro at this. I think that this is just so much fun. And this is a beautiful Valentine's Day gift to make for a friend. Since I have some extra heart beads from that strand and some extra wood beads, I will definitely be making a few more of these. Next, we are going to be creating an envelope pillow. So you can choose any fabric you like for this. I'm going to go with this super soft fleece fabric. I love the baby pink color, and the fleece fabric is really easy to work with. It is beginner friendly as well. So this one here is from Joann's, but of course use any that you like. So to get started, I'm just going to create a template. Cut out a rectangle from some brown craft paper. And these DIYs are really meant to be fun and simple, so it doesn't have to be an exact size. This one here ended up being about 18 or 19 inches long by 12.5 inches high. I doubled up my fabric and now I'm just cutting out 2 rectangles. Now for the triangle part of our envelope, I'm just going to take this template here, fold it in half, and then pick a part on the paper that's towards the bottom and just cut up. That way it just kind of creates a really simple triangle for me, and that is going to be the flap of our envelope. Now I'm just going to pin this to my fabric and cut out 1 triangle piece. Actually just ordered these pink fabric shears from Amazon. I will leave them linked down below. They're really nice quality. My old pair of scissors were just so dull and I was really struggling in my last DIY, so I knew I had to get myself a new pair. So now that we have all of our pieces of fabric cut out, we can start to sew them together. I'm going to be sewing these 2 pieces together first, and I'm just going to sew on these edges here. And I did use a white stitch for this, and I used a decorative stitch on my sewing machine. Not sew the top yet because we will be sewing that when we sew our second piece on top, and I will be doing a hidden seam. So now I'm going to go ahead and take that second rectangle, layer it on top with the finished side facing inward. Since we are going to be sewing these edges inside out, you just want to make sure that everything is lined up together. And then I'm going to go ahead and just sew all of the edges together, but I will leave a small opening on the bottom. That way I can flip my pillow right side out and then fill it with polyfill. So now we're going to just flip it right side out. This is it after I sewed all of those edges together on my sewing machine. And now it is definitely starting to look a lot more like an envelope. So that is our small opening here. And I'm just going to start filling it with polyfill. Once it is nice and full, you can go ahead and just sew closed that opening. Adding some red or white pom-poms or tassels to the 4 corners of this pillow would be a really fun touch. I'm just going to add some of these buttons here. So these are some white buttons in the shape of a heart, and they have a bunch of different designs on them. They were just really pretty. They kind of went with that romantic Valentine's Day feel that I was going for. And I thought I would just start off with 1 heart on the bottom of the envelope where it closes, but then I really loved the buttons so much that I decided just to sew them going all the way up on both sides. And here is how this pillow turned out. I just kept my design really simple, but you can definitely make this pillow your own. There are so many different ways you can take this, and you can really get a fun, bold print for this pillow since it is going to be an accent pillow, and I think that would be gorgeous as well. And that is everything for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed these simple and elegant Valentine's Day DIYs. If you guys have not seen my other Valentine's DIYs from this year, definitely check out those videos. They were so much fun to create, and I love how everything turned out. And don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. Thank you so much for watching.